Joining me now is Notre Dame sophomore Kevin Lynch. Kevin, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
Now, before we begin our topic of conversation, give us your Notre Dame introduction, hometown, class, and major.
Sure. My name is Kevin Lynch. I'm a sophomore from Huntington, Long Island. I am studying finance and econ, and I'm a member of the greatest hall on campus, Duncan Hall.
And you play for the Notre Dame lacrosse team, and you actually met the coach of the team long before you came to Notre Dame. Tell us about your first meeting with Coach Corrigan.
Absolutely. So I was about 6 years old when my sister began playing lacrosse, and her first coach actually came to Notre Dame, knew Coach Corrigan, and eventually moved back from Long Island back to Chicago. And so one weekend we came out to visit them. We came out to a football game. And while we were here, Mr. Lawler actually called up Coach Corrigan and said, "Hey, I have some kids who want to meet you. They're big fans of lacrosse, big fans of Notre Dame." And so he introduced us. Coach Corrigan took a picture with us, gave us a shirt. And it was just a great experience. I mean, it was the first time my family fell in love with Notre Dame.
Now, as if you're not busy enough, you also ran for Hall president. Tell us how that went. And why did you run?
So unfortunately, we actually lost the election, but the guys who did win were a great group of guys. We're very close friends and everything. So, I'm very happy for them, and I think they're going to be very good for the dorm and, keep the dorm's best interests at heart.
Now, what is the Go ahead.
Sorry. The reason I actually ran with my roommate, and the reason we wanted to run was because we've been spending a lot of time in the dorm this year and been having a lot of conversation with different freshmen. My brother especially is a freshman right now. He's also on the men's lacrosse team and also lives in Duncan Hall. And we realized that as much as, Notre Dame has been doing an amazing job for everybody here, like making us feel like it's a normal year and making us feel at home, they haven't been able to experience it to the full extent. And so my roommate and I really wanted to ensure that next year they would be able to, get that full experience. We wanted to bring that to them.
Now, folks who are not familiar with daily campus life at Notre Dame probably don't realize that the residence halls here, there are no fraternities at Notre Dame. So the residence halls are kind of like fraternities from a friendship perspective, not the shenanigans of fraternities, but the close relationships of everybody who lives in them. What has this semester taught you about your hall?
I mean, it's been just such an incredible experience. I know for most people, the COVID protocols have been somewhat restrictive and they haven't had the same freedoms as we usually do. But for me, it's been kind of an eye-opening experience. As you guys all know, I'm on the lacrosse team, and so that's obviously taken up a lot of my time. And when the restrictions were introduced, not only for the university, but for the lacrosse team, I found myself kind of handcuffed a little bit in what I was able to do, going out and different things like that, spending time with friends. And so I actually grew a lot of different relationships within the dorm. Oftentimes at night, everybody in the dorm can find me by 8, 9 o'clock. I'm down in the 24-hour space, just hanging out, doing some homework, playing some music. And I just try and say hi to everybody who stops by, get conversations going, get to meet people and different things like that. And I think this whole experience has just brought me a lot closer to these guys. And I really do feel that I'm a part of the brotherhood now. And, our dorm's motto is community, brotherhood, respect. And I just think I know and understand that a lot more this year.
Now, with all the things on your plate, how do you find the time to manage playing a major Division I sport, your academics, and doing things like running for Hall Vice President?
It's definitely a struggle. I think one of the major things is I don't rely too much on sleep. I think I've just had so many things that require my attention that I don't know, I'm just running on solar power, I guess. But I think a lot of my priorities are, I do want to do really well in school and I want to do really well with my sport and playing all that. But I know that the relationships you have with the people in your dorm are truly important, and the friendships you make during college are just ones that you're never going to forget. And so I think that really drives me to kind of spend time here and get to know the guys here. And so anytime I can, if we have an off day, I'll try and text these guys up and go meet them out on the fields or stuff, play soccer. I'll go meet them in the 2-4. I'll go out to lunch with them, different things. anything really just to, be a part of their lives and have them be a part of mine.
I have known Coach Corrigan since his first season here at Notre Dame. So before we let you go, I would be remiss if I did not ask you for your best Coach Corrigan story that you can tell to a family audience.
Okay. So recently we played Duke, who was the #1 team in the country up until we beat them. And we're going back to play them again. But Coach Corrigan is a man of very high expectations. And I think all of us truly appreciate that because he pushes us to be so much better than even we think we can be. And I think that kind of just, his personality is just incredible. And so, he pushes us to be better during practice and stuff. He can get on us and can be a little, on our heads and stuff. But his reaction to us winning the Duke game was, in my personal opinion, just so standard and just so him. We got back, we've been using the Loftus athletic complex as our locker room basically for this semester to try and abide by COVID protocols. And we get back there, we're all gathered, we're all spaced out, and he just goes, "All right, you played well, good job. On to the next guys." And I mean, just that level of focus and, determination that, that wins behind you. We got to focus on the next guys. We're going to play them again. We're actually playing them on Thursday. And then we have the #4 team in the country, UNC, to play as well. So, he's incredibly focused, incredibly driven. And I think we all take a part of that with us. And, we all kind of keep that mentality of just focus on the next guys.
And that story's so amusing because if you know the intensity of Coach Corrigan before the game, that's completely at the other end of the spectrum. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for having me.